welcome to Turn the Page, the official podcast of the Syosset Public Library.
Hi, everybody. This is Evelyn Hershkowitz, Reader Services Librarian at the Syosset Public Library. This is the Turn the Page podcast. I am here today with Amy K. Green, who has written a book called Haven't Killed in Years. It comes out November 18th. And the book on the very front cover, it says, "No one knows serial killers like she does." Let me tell you, this was some book. I'm just going to read a little bit about Amy. Amy K. Green is a contemporary American author from New England who made an unconventional journey to become a writer. Originally pursuing a career in accounting, her transition to writing came after years of working in corporate finance and film production. Growing up as an only child in a small New England town, Green credits her active imagination to solitary hours spent playing in the woods and her enthusiasm for pop culture. Her debut novel, The Prize Girl, published in 2020, was written during downtime between film productions. The novel showcased her skill in crafting complex narratives. And her follow-up novel, which we're going to talk about now, is Haven't Killed in Years, which I said is being published November 18th. So thank you, Amy, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, this book was crazy.
Thanks.
Absolutely crazy in a good way.
Okay.
I love serial killer books. So this one definitely hit the spot. It's definitely a serial killer novel. So tell everybody what it's about.
So it is about the daughter of a serial killer who, when she was 9 years old, he was finally caught, and she was sort of whisked away and given a new identity with the optimistic hope that she could maybe have a normal life. Now it's 20 years later, and she's living kind of a boring, purposefully isolated, structured life, and body parts start showing up on her doorstep. And a little note that lets her know somebody knows who she really is and is going to try to provoke her out of hiding, basically.
Nuts. The things that went on were just like the twists and the turns and who was who, and it was just crazy. How did you do that? How did you plan that all out? I mean,
Well, I try to be a plotter because I think it would take a lot of stress away, but I plot a little bit and then I just become a pantser. So I really should just accept that I'll have an idea where I want to go, but then when I get in it and I start to get in, the heads of people who are, a little unstable, a little crazy, I just kind of have to follow where I think it's going to go while I'm writing, and then I can end up totally off where I thought it was going to go.
wow. Do you have a normal life?
I actually have a very boring life.
Oh my gosh.
I'm actually also an accountant.
Uh-huh.
So, this is sort of my creative off the wall outlet to
Wow.
the everyday normal stuff.
It's just crazy what went on in this book.
Well, I don't know. I feel like go for it, right? I try to just think of the weirdest stuff. And sometimes people ask, is this thing or that thing based on something? And I'm
Right.
like, well, I just made it up, but now I feel nervous to tell you that because what are you thinking about me that just was in my head? I don't know.
I can't imagine any of this is based on reality at all.
I tried to set it. I wanted to set it also in just the very mundane, day-to-day sort of over-commercialized world, that's not set in this creepy small town or where there's an abandoned there's literally a part where an ominous note is left for someone, and it's meet me at outside of Old Navy. And I could have picked anywhere, but I just thought that was so weird and just random that it added kind of a little almost comedy to an otherwise very dark situation. So that's what I kind of aimed for with the setting in this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it was good. So which character did you enjoy writing the most?
Well, probably Marin / Gwen, her two names, because, you're in her head the majority of the story. And I liked how she kind of lacks a lot of normal empathy or emotion or fear that she finds some along the way, but it kind of leaves her able to like overanalyze things, which I can really relate to. I'm like a big overanalyzer because I don't know. I thought it stripping away some of the feelings or fear or things that get in normal people's heads, she can really kind of zone in on these new people she's interacting with, and at times kind of judgy about them, but in a fun way. I liked exploring that.
Yeah. Well, there's a family or step brothers, and there was
Yeah.
so many different interrelated things going on.
Right. And I like,
Was that
she
hard to
has
write?
basically no family at this point, right? And hasn't for many
Mhm.
years. And now she's interacting people with, um, there was a mother character who married many times or had many long-term relationships where basically now there's all of these stepchildren sort of webbed together. And this is so weird to Marin
Mhm.
because she has no siblings, she has nothing, and these people have these relationships that she can't understand. So it was fun to write that. And that wasn't really intended. There was, going to be a couple, and I just felt like I kept sprinkling in some more step
Kept
siblings.
having more children, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so I can't believe, did you know what the ending was going to be though? I mean, you had to plan something. You couldn't just
Yeah.
wing it
Yeah. So
all.
yeah. So I had like, the basic idea of, what was going on, but
Mhm.
the middle of the book went through, many revisions, very different than what it originally was. But I kind of knew where it was going to go, but it was just messing around with how we were going to get there
Yeah.
eventually.
How long does it take you to write a book?
Well, it totally depends. I, I like to sit and say, this is the first draft. This is what everybody says. It's going to be bad. Just like keep writing, get through it. But I'm not good at that. I just keep going back and revising and revising and revising. So I don't know, years, I guess,
Oh,
or,
okay.
a first draft in, I could, maybe like 6 months, but then I'll step away from it for a little while, I'll come back, I'll do a huge revision, things like that. So I feel like you can keep revising forever too at some
Mhm.
point. You say,
Well,
this
you
is the
also have
stuff,
your editor that can help you
of
with that.
course. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Was this book purchased before you wrote it, or you wrote it and then sent it out for inquiry?
Nope, I wrote it and sent it out, but then after it was purchased, it kind of went through another big revision in the middle, which
Mhm.
I'm so glad it did. I'm very happy with where it is right now.
Yeah.
But it's
Are you
nice that
going on tour for it at all?
I'm doing a local launch at my local bookstore, Buttonwood Books and Toys, and then I'm going to be in Houston for an event with Murder by the Book in December.
Oh, very nice.
Super excited about. So
Okay, right. That's great. Did you do it with your first book too, or that was during the pandemic?
it was sort of right before the pandemic, so I had a local launch, and then the world,
Yeah,
obviously
right. So you
changed.
wrote this one during the pandemic, or?
Um, I the very first draft of this, I'd say I finished kind of before, and I didn't really use the pandemic as lots of free open time to do writing.
Mhm.
I had just moved back from California, and I ended up moving in with my friends who had three little children to sort of live with them through. And then it just became like a nursery school, basically. Like it was like less productive than it should have been, but we were all just doing our best in that time. So then the world started opening up, and you came back out of it. And I kind of dove back in and
Mhm.
started working on it again. And
Nice.
it's funny because when you're writing, you don't think like, remember all of these details, because if this book becomes a book, you're going to have to talk about it. And so I'm like trying to like remember what was going on in my life at different times and stages with this book. It's kind of hard.
Mhm.
It's like easy to talk about the book you're writing right now, but that's not a book yet. So
Right, right. Well, are you writing something else now?
yeah, I'm working on something that will hopefully be my next book, but
Okay, that's great. Good for you. Did you
eh,
always want to be an author?
no, it was
No.
not even something I conceptualized, I guess. I didn't know anybody. When I was a kid, I wasn't a big reader. Seems funny now because I feel like I read constantly, but back then it wasn't my world. You read for school or, occasionally something for fun, but just wasn't something I realized. And then I, graduated from college and I was doing accounting, and I sort of wanted a creative outlet. I didn't even realize. And I just kind of started writing. And then I slowly started to realize I really enjoyed it and that maybe I should try to actually do something with it. So it was kind of a long journey to actually considering trying to be a writer.
Right. So what do you like to read now? I'm sure you don't read serial killer books, do you?
I
Because I
read,
can recommend quite a few.
I do. I read, I would say mostly thrillers.
Okay.
But I do dabble in other things, and I have a book club with like some friends, so
Are they
uh,
going to read your book?
they are going to.
Oh,
But
that's great.
um, in the interest of full disclosure, not all of them read the book, and then they just show up with wine, and then I have to say like, "Shh, we're going to talk about the book now. Like, you
Yeah.
don't have to leave, but you have to be quiet."
Right, right. And
So
also, if you ever plan on reading it, there's going to be spoiler alert. So,
yeah, exactly. And they like some of them don't like thrillers. Some of them get, are very easily scared when reading sort of dark stuff. And I'm like, listen, I'm reading all your selections, which are not necessarily the genre I would pick. So
right.
suck it up, turn all the lights on, right? Like,
Are any of them authors or just you?
no, just me.
Oh, okay. So it's not
Yeah.
like you could say, I'm reading your book, you have to read mine too.
No, no, no.
Okay. So when do you write? If you work full time as an accountant?
Um, I am technically freelance, so I have
Oh, okay.
some flexibility. I work on movies after they finish filming. So
Oh,
there can be pockets where like a movie's not ready to come to me yet, so I can really scale back. And then there'll be times where I'll have, 5 movies that are all have a lot going on, and then I have a more traditional like full-time job.
hmm.
So I'm fortunate to have flexibility because
Right.
it's hard, and I get to work from home, which I feel like is
Oh,
becoming
that's
more and
nice.
more rare. So I feel very lucky in that.
Where are you located?
On the South Shore in Massachusetts,
Oh, okay.
like about an hour or so outside of Boston.
Oh, very nice. It's a nice area to be in.
Yeah. And I
And that's where you set the book in that area.
and I love it because you can get to sort of any kind of setting you want within, an hour to 5 hour drive. So it gives you a lot of options. You can be, in downtown Boston, you could get to New York City, but you can also be on the beach.
Right,
You
at the
can
Cape, of course.
be like in the middle of the woods in New Hampshire. Like there are a lot of options. You can be in a, formerly industrial town. You can, when you write books where people need to like dispose of body parts and things like that, it's nice to have a lot of options you can get through in a short drive.
It's so funny though that you don't look like the type of person that would be interested in disposing of body
Well,
parts.
I'm not interested in disposing of body parts. Okay, let's be.
No, but even thinking about it, it's
I know. And it's like I don't I don't do a lot of research. Like I make sure that, sometimes I just go for it. Like, sure, this could happen. And then later I have to look it up and be like, okay, scientifically that's not possible. But I try to approach these situations that I put these people in and sort of like, well, what would somebody do who has no idea what they're doing? And everybody knows now you can't like Google, because if they're ever suspicious of you, they're gonna look at your history,
right.
right? So you kind of just have to be like, everyone should almost Google now all these horrible situations just in case they come up come up later. Like you'll have the answer. But like theoretically, I know from watching things that there's like chemicals and stuff that can, but I don't know. But if I found myself, well, I shouldn't say myself, my character finds herself
Right.
in a situation, it's too late. You can't look it up now. You can't go to the hardware store and buy this stuff. You can't have a trail. So kind of, what do you do? And that's kind of, I just try to think like, well, what would I do? I guess. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, you obviously had to Google a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, the stuff, a lot of stuff with like the kiln, I would say, not to give anything away.
Hmm.
Things, basically, there were things I wanted to do that then I just scaled back and had to do something different because I'm like, this is questionable. And, you don't want to go through all this work of writing. And like the big takeaway is somebody says, like, this is not possible. Like, I don't want someone putting the book down thinking that. It's obviously, a far-fetched,
Hmm.
out there story, but I didn't want some really obvious glaring.
Are you interested in pottery and like she was?
No, but I have been to a lot of those type of places, being more of the front customer with the children or whatever,
Oh,
doing
okay.
the simple painting. But I do know, like, for me it was important that she have something that she needs to turn her brain off, because I can relate to that. I just do something really unhealthy, which is go on my phone for 2 hours to help me stop like thinking about life's problems. But um if she had something, I knew she would need something that when she feels herself spiraling, or she gets really, nostalgic and warm and fuzzy feelings towards really dark memories, that she needs to sort of put herself in check and go somewhere where she can, absorb herself on the pottery wheel and let those memories, fade into the background again. Because it was important, because when I was deciding sort of how old is she going to be when she is separated from her father, right? Because if she was 4 versus 15, those are very different phases of life that you went through exposed to him. And, the thing with the story is like she knows what he was doing. This
She
wasn't
was
some
with him.
bombshell. Yeah, she witnessed a lot of it. It was never a secret. He always included her, almost training her, sort of. And I settled on 9 because I felt like that was, you're old enough to form real memories by then, and, have opinions of the world and be starting to make those social relationships. But you're not in your preteens, you're not in your teens, which is kind of where we all figure out who we're going to be as people. So I kind of wanted it to be a mix where she's fundamentally has these, thought patterns set in her, but still was able to go out and exist in a world away from him before becoming an adult. So she kind of has like a little mix of a few different things to kind of contend with. And she's very aware of what's right or wrong. She just it doesn't necessarily come naturally to her, but she wants to do the right thing.
Hmm.
So I liked exploring that versus, maybe the child of a serial killer who was innocent and finds this out and then has to reevaluate everything. Like,
Yeah, there's a lot of books like that right now out
yeah.
about.
Well, it's a super interesting story to tell as well. I just wanted to kind of approach it from a different angle in
Right.
that
Did
way.
you interview any serial killers?
No, see, I'm too scared. Like I just make them up. Like I purposely like I didn't model him after anyone specifically. Also, because it's from his daughter's point of view.
Hmm.
And to her, he's her dad, a real person she experienced. She's not like, he's not a character or someone from a documentary or something that has been formulated into a box. Like, she has all different memories of him and different ways he acted and stuff like that. So I didn't want it to be, too based on any real. Also, it's just like, if you take away as much reality as you can from it, then you feel better like enjoying it as entertainment. And sort of, if it's too like tied to something real that happened, then it gets a little too dark for me personally.
Have you watched Mindhunter?
Yes. Are they doing another season?
No, they're not.
I feel like they keep hinting that they're going to,
Yeah,
and
no,
then
he's
yank
well,
it away.
Jonathan. I followed Jonathan Groff, who was
Uh-huh.
one of the main characters, one of the main actors in there, and he's busy on Broadway. He's doing the play Just in Time right now, and he wanted to continue, but I don't know why they stopped it. But that was such a great show.
Oh, I loved it. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I just felt like it was such a tease. Like, I would see
Mhm.
announcements and I would get so excited, and then I'd be like,
Yeah.
ah, just
No,
kidding.
and then there was another show I watched recently with Dennis Quaid. Did you see that one?
I
Where
don't
his
think so.
Dennis Quaid was a serial killer, and then his daughter, who tried to also
Oh,
stay anonymous, it came out, and then it was so good also. Look that one up too.
okay. Yeah, I think I know was that the like the happy face?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. I haven't gotten to it yet, but I know what you're talking
Yeah, no, that was good. So obviously you like serial killers also.
about. I don't like that. Okay. But if they're
Well,
going to
I
exist,
mean, I
then they're.
am scared of my shadow. I am scared of so many things, but yet for some reason, I have a fascination with reading these stories with serial killers. Like it just there's something about it that
I think it's just so,
I couldn't write, but I could read.
well, it's just so, the concept is, it's just wild to someone who is not a serial killer, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think that's what makes them so fascinating. Is like, you can understand, if there's a crime or a murder between, of passion or something like that. Like, conceptually, you get that. But these serial killers, like, it's mind blowing. So it makes for really rich storytelling, I guess.
Yeah, no, it does. It makes for very rich storytelling. But unfortunately, some of them are true, which is insane. Well, that's like Mindhunter. Mindhunter was actually interviewing real, real people.
Yeah, and the actors who were playing the different serial killers were so good. And I'm like, uh, in the same way I worry about what people think about me when I write this stuff. I'm like, do these people go home to their like wives and like
Yeah.
they're like, please give us a minute. Like I can't look at you.
Well, we have a real live one now from Long Island.
A serial killer?
Yeah, well, they caught him. They
Oh,
haven't prosecuted him yet, but yeah, it's the Gilgo murders.
oh, okay.
So
There's
look
something
that
going
up.
on in New England too. Have you seen the
No, that I haven't seen.
it's really vague where they're not wanting to say it, but they keep finding women like some who are like hiking. They're, the little patterns are appearing, but they're not really wanting to say it. But
Oh,
it's pretty scary.
yeah. Well,
uh,
maybe you could write a nonfiction book about them.
I know, but it's too the when it's real, it's like too. I already feel like guilty enough that I
Oh,
like
okay.
absorb it as like entertainment. I'm like, it's
Okay. So you're gonna leave that behind. So what's your next book about?
tough. Well, I don't think I can say too much because I don't even know if it will actually be my next book.
Oh, okay.
It's another thriller. I was kind of inspired by I had to drive cross country a few times when I was like relocating. And you go through these areas where there just seems like there's nothing, right? You're just nothing. But then there'll be like a little rest area or a little, and you're like, well, these people come from somewhere. So I was kind of just like that very loosely got my brain spinning. So that book would be where the setting is more a character than this book where I was opting for something different in that
Hmm.
aspect.
Okay. So
But this
anyway,
that book is definitely a pantsing experience. I knew like a couple things, but I'm really just kind of going with the characters and seeing how it all shakes out. So we'll see. We'll see.
okay. Well, good luck with that.
Thank you.
And good luck with this book too.
Thank
I will we ordered it for the library. It'll definitely be here. So I put it on hold for a couple of my patrons that I know like these kind of stories. So
you.
good luck. Hopefully it'll do real well.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And
Okay.
thank you for all that you guys.
Well, you're
It's really
very welcome.
appreciated.
Do you read your reviews? Because on Goodreads, it got some really good reviews.
No.
No, you don't read your reviews.
No, I have very thin skin, which I know you're not supposed to have as a writer, but
Not
like
especially if you're writing about serial killers.
what are you gonna do, right? Like I can tell my brain things, but it doesn't mean my brain's gonna listen. So I just I try to avoid I get tagged in things, but people usually only tag you if they're saying something nice. So I see those things on like Instagram and whatnot, which I really appreciate. But I'll get hung up on a bad review for, and I know like I always say every time I read a book, when I finish it, I go look at those reviews to just
Hmm.
remind myself that like not everybody likes everything. Like
Right.
it doesn't mean anything. Like that's everyone's entitled to an opinion. Obviously, we all have different tastes, but it's something like if it's about you, like I can't take it. Like it's I'll just focus on it forever. So I try to avoid it. Just keep
Okay.
writing, just focus on the writing.
Well, you did get some very good reviews, so just so you know.
Thank you very much. Thank
And
you.
I'm giving you a good review too. So and I thought it was a great book.
Thank you so much. I really
Okay. So
appreciate
it's
it.
nice to meet somebody that has a mind like yours.
Yeah, you're like via Zoom. Like don't show up outside of my house.
No, you're so sweet. I like can't imagine that this is what's going on in your mind.
Well, maybe I'm overcompensating one way or the other. I don't know.
No, it was great. It really is. So I wish you a lot of luck with it and good luck with the new book also.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
All
So
right.
I'm going to close this chapter of Turn the Page. Thank you, Amy Green, so much.
Thank you.
It's time to close this chapter of Turn the Page. Join us for the next episode.